Hey everyone, it's still chilly out, so we are going to fish today the Ned Rig. You know, I talk to a lot of people back at the ramps or around the water when I catch them on the water. We just talk about what we're fishing if they're telling me the truth. And, you know, a lot of people do not talk or fish the Ned Rig that I found out. So I think, you know, the Ned Rig is a bait that you cannot forget about, because it's something that a lot of fish haven't seen yet on a lot of bodies of water. So if you throw that Ned Rig, you are going to catch fish. As far as the terminal tackle, we are using the Z-Man Ned Head, and you can see right there they have a little bait keeper on the hook itself. It's a little bit of a ribbed metal. And you can also stick a little bit of super glue right here at the head to keep your bait on. We have this tied off to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader back to our main line, and we are using the actual cash and rod Ned Rig element rod, which is a very sensitive 6'10" fast action medium power rod. And we are really loving this cash and rod right now for the Ned Rig, and also the drop shot version of this as well. But that's the setup we're using. As far as our baits, we are using a few different new ones to us, and this is made by Rumble Fish, and this is called the Sneaky Pete. I love the name, Sneaky Pete. So you can see it's got a little bit, I've done a video on this before, it's got a little bit of a, almost like a paddle tail to it, you know, a little bit of an end to it. But this is a very cool bait. And they also have the bludger, I think that's how it's pronounced. And you can see it's got this little tiny tip right there that just gives a little bit of movement at the end, but it's almost like a straight up Ned, you know, tapered bait, and it's got that little tiny tip right there. I think it's very cool looking. And of course we got our Z-Man TRD ticklers. This is one of our favorite Ned Head setups, and you can see it's almost like a tube bait, and it's got a little bit of our tails here, which we separate, and you know, it's got a little bit of a I think there's like 4 or 5 of them here, right? Yeah, there's like 4 little longer little separated tails that give you that movement underneath the water, and the green pumpkin. But that's also one of our favorite baits, and it's also got like a little indentation right there. It's really set up for their Ned Heads. We are going to start out with the Sneaky Pete though. We haven't used it yet on the water, and I really am excited about using this bait. So just feed down your hook, get it over that hook keeper, and that's it. You can see what a cool little like flat paddle tail it is. So let's go have some fun with this and see if we can catch some fish on it. The Ned Head is talked about quite a bit, but I don't see a lot of people fish it, at least when I come across them. Like I said, if they're telling me the truth. I think it's a sleeper bait, you know, but we just cast it out. We let it hit the bottom. You just kind of drag it along the bottom. There's a couple different ways you can fish the Ned Rig. You can just let it hit the bottom and just slowly work it back. You can swim this. And another thing is too, you can fish it up and down. You know, just fish it vertically, almost like a jig. Let it hit the bottom and just snap it up. You know, give it a quick snap and let it just come up and let it sink back down. Now, as far as the weight of the head, I'm using a 1/16 of an ounce. So use a very lightweight head, you know, and let that soft plastic be basically most of your weight. But you don't want to fish this on too heavy of a head. You want that bait, you know, to fall slowly down, you know, from the buoyancy of the soft plastics, and just be a slow dropping bait. And as you snap it up too, let it come up and it'll just slowly go back down. You don't want to fish it too heavy. So we're using a 1/16 of an ounce head right now. And sometimes I even fish, I think, 1/32 of an ounce. But we're just going to work it really slow. We're going to fish some structure. We're going to fish some underwater structure and see what we can grab. As far as colors, you know, just when the water's clear, fish a natural color. And when the water's stained or dirty, fish a dark color like black and blue or whatever. But the water here right now is slightly stained. It's not too dirty. So we're fishing this, I think it's called green speckle or whatever. I'm not even sure what color this is called from Rumble Fish. Everybody has their own colors and I can't keep up with them. But You know, it's more of a natural color, but it's a little bit darker to it, but it's got the red and black flakes in it. So like I was saying before, as far as fishing vertically, you can see I got some underwater structure there, and I just let it sit down to the bob, and then I just give it a quick pop up like this and just let it sit back down, almost like vertical jigging. That's another way you can fish the Ned Rig, and pop it up, and like I said, it's going to slowly fall back down, and usually on the fall is when you're going to feel that thump. You don't have to, you know, utilize the Ned Rig just when the fish are finicky. You can use this bait all the time, any conditions, and any time of the year, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be any kind of special conditions for the Ned Rig. You know, if the fish are finicky and don't want to bite, it's probably going to help, of course. You know, another place I'll fish a Ned Rig is right along the edge of the lily pads. You know, try to get as close as I can and just let it sink right down in front of the pads, because, you know, the fish will be underneath there trying to ambush their prey. So I throw it right in front of the lily pads and just let it sink, and I just slowly do little pops and bring it back to me. But I kind of try to keep it as much as I can on the bottom and just feel that bottom. You know, you can feel what's on the bottom, whether it's rocks, you know, some brush. But oh, we almost had a bite there, guys. We almost had a bite. All right, guys, fish on. Little sneaky Pete after it again. Like I said, the Ned Rig will catch fish. I hope you guys like this little video. It's a little intro to the Ned Rig, a couple of different ways you can fish it, but it's a bait that we all need to utilize more, including myself. It will catch fish bigger than you think it would. Just don't base it on the size of the profile of the bait. It will catch fish, you know, small and big. And it will catch those finicky fish on those days where they do not want to bite. And like I said, it's a bait that a lot of fish have not seen yet, so you will get bit. So as always, make sure you guys tie that Ned Rig on. But as always, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you guys on the water. Thanks for watching.